here at Creative Hearts with another beautiful episode with our feature artist for September and our exhibition Seeds of Change. And we have our beautiful co-founder, Hue Kedge from Hue the Artist, who is here displaying her beautiful work. Now, she's a mixed media artist. And Hue, I'd love for you to share about your process. I love the work, the color, the photography, the watercolors. I'd love for you to share about your process.
I've actually got actually one of my originals here. So I photographed my model, and in this first collection, which I've called Unravel, every single art piece has the same muse as my beautiful model, Ava. I photographed her for a couple of hours, and I've got hundreds of beautiful different poses. And that just starts off as my library. And then from there, I kind of look at an image and then think, what kind of emotion, what kind of feeling do I get when I look at this? For this particular piece, which is not yet on my website because I've only just finished it.
Brand new.
For me, I just felt the emotion of keeping your head above water. And as very busy humans, especially women, we kind of feel like we can do all the things, just really juggling everything. We're fine until we're not. And it's just like that's slowly sinking, but you're feeling like you're trying to be calm. So I've called this piece Beneath the Calm, and the whole concept behind that is literally just sometimes in life you feel like you're just floating, you're just managing to stay afloat. So once I've got that photograph, I chuck it on to Photoshop because I'm a photographer, so I edit everything else out except for the pieces of her that I want visible. Then I printed it on cotton rag paper, which is really nice because it's textured and it takes a lot of water. I love watercolor, and actually watercolor is something that I thought was really easy, especially the loose watercolor, but actually it's really hard. Being the control freak that I am, I love everything perfect. That is probably the worst thing you can do with watercolor, because once you start to try to control it, it's boring. It looks like normal paint. And the beauty with watercolor is that you do want to see those transparent bits.
So I suppose with water as well, that's what I mean, it goes everywhere, it allows the flow to mix the colors.
But you need to trust it as well. Art for me is really fun because I get to explore new techniques, and sometimes it doesn't quite work, but that's okay, because what happens then is I get, oh, what else can I do? So these water lilies that I've got, I've added texture to them because I'm thinking it looks a bit flat, and then once I started I couldn't stop, and that's just what happens. And
I love that.
Did I overdo it? And then you have to walk away.
And this piece in particular, like, you know, bring that sense of calm. I know a lot of your work that's been inspired by this process of coming back to you.
Yeah.
Your work is very feminine. It talks a lot about resilience, that inner strength, finding that calm, that creativity within. What led you to find your creativity? Because you weren't always, you know, a painter, a photographer. You know, you spoke about the control freak within you. So what led you to your craftsmanship?
For me, I think it was just because I've always been creative. It's always been for someone else. And so when you're busy and you're creative and you're giving away all your creativity, something was just missing. I just felt like I needed to do something with my hands, or otherwise I would explode. And I don't really have time for any hobbies. So I used to garden a lot, and that was really great until I realized I spent too much time gardening and buying plants and not having time to look after them. So a couple of years ago, I thought I'll just try some art, and I brought some paint, and then just intentionally making time for it. I don't know, it just lit me up. Then I started to play, and the more time I made for it, the more I fell in love with the process. Then I realized I actually don't have time for it, because every time I was in the studio creating, I was feeling really guilty because I wasn't working and earning money. And I guess when you're working for yourself, you don't work, you don't get paid. So that's how Hue the Artist came to be, because I decided to register that as a business. Purely so I can intentionally set aside time for it to do work. I consider that, even though it's not work for me mentally, I can call it work because it lights me up, but I'm doing it with purpose. And so that was only 2.5 years ago that I started this journey.
Hue, with your mixed media process, you know, you use watercolor, photography, there's textured pieces, and there's also some other beautiful threading that you've done. I'd love for you to share why you've chosen to add this layer in, because I want to touch it. It just is like sensory.
It is, it's textured. I love to experiment, but when I was growing up, mum and dad used to sew, and I think a lot of, especially Vietnamese families, would experience this because as refugees, you know, they weren't really skilled to do a lot of great jobs. So working for themselves. So this is one of those things where they can. And so I remember stories and experiences back then when there were times when they used to like be up all night sewing something and then the next day deliver it and be told that they did it wrong when in fact they were instructed wrong. So then the whole after school, my brother and I will sit there with a little picker and we'll pick all the seams to unpick it so that they can resew it again. And so it was really hard work, and you know, that was just a reality back then. And so I wanted to honor that in my work, and I just love to play with stitching and just textures and stuff like that, textiles. And you can see like it's beautiful here, it just adds a texture, but on the back I kind of feel, you know, I've kept the pieces loose, I haven't trimmed them off, but it's all part of the story because if you've got this beautiful outer, but inside it sometimes it's a jumble, and that is how life is. Some things might look really calm above water and underneath you like paddling.
The mess, the chaos that you were speaking about earlier.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. I actually don't think I've seen many artists weave different things with other textures and other concepts. It's really beautiful to see that combination.
And it's nice because I call myself a mixed media artist, which gives me permission to do whatever I want.
Beautiful.
For me, art is about slowing down.
Mm.
It's almost like when I'm in the studio and I'm creating, I learn to breathe again.
Mm.
It's weird. It's really weird because I'm always like go, go, go. And then when I'm in the studio, I can spend all day there and I'm in the flow, covered in stuff. I think all items of my clothing have some sort of paint or texture. We went out once.
Paint right there.
We went to an event once, remember, and I looked down and there was like paint on my handbag, there's paint on my shoes. But that's just, you know, I think that's when you create, that's what it is. You sort of lose yourself. And for me, it's creating this type of art, but I know musicians do it. I know dancers, you know, you're a dancer, so I know you just lose yourself.
When you said I can breathe again, I did think about dancing. I haven't danced myself in a while, but that creative process, whether you are creating art, you're photographing, you're drawing, you're writing, if you're doing it for yourself, you lose track of time.
You do. And it's amazing because I think we live in a world now where everything is instant. Like you just need to do everything now because society just expects that you've got a phone that is with you all the time and you get an email, and for some stupid reason you think you have to reply straight away. You don't, and people don't always expect it, but you train yourself to think that you do. And so for me, when I'm in the studio, I have my camera, but I use my camera to film myself. So you'll see on all my pieces, I do a lot of behind the scenes of the process, which personally, when I'm looking at art, I find the process is really fascinating because then you can see how people work. And so I spend a lot of time trying to set up my camera. But when I'm doing that, I'm not actually scrolling, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I forget about everything else. I just focus on whatever it is I'm working on. And usually I will have about 5 pieces at a time.
I was about to say, do you have a specific time frame? But probably not, because I know we've had to talk about this. But like, how do you allow yourself to create? I remember us talking about, you know, you just do it when you want to.
So these pieces I photographed at the same time as all these other pieces, like the original with Ava. But I started them and then I think I just stopped because I look at it, it's like, I'm not feeling it anymore. So then I put it away and I'll start on something else and they'll come back to it. And then the story changes for me. Every time I come back, I add different layers to it. Sometimes I change it completely. The piece up there, I don't know if you can see, the one with the purple. She originally had beautiful blonde hair and it felt so flat. So then I started adding texture paste and now she's got white hair and silver streaks in it. It adds to the story, and I think that's the beauty of art. It is whatever you want it to be, and it's kind of like life. You change it up. If it's not working, you change it up.
I noticed with this piece, and we've got another beautiful peacock piece here. You've got these beautiful, whimsical, you know, a lot of them have nature feel to it. What does it mean to you to like tap into that symbolism? We've got the beautiful koi fish with the water. Here you've got the peacock. We can see it here. We've got these vibrant colors. What is it about nature that you love to tap into with your work?
Nature grounds me. I love to look out and see green because we live in a world where we just don't stop and appreciate the small things. With my journey over the years, I've done a lot, been a lot of places and met a lot of people. Sadly, I've lost a few close friends to health reasons, which was a real wake-up call to realize that you shouldn't wait to do the things you love. Like they say, you shouldn't wait to wear your pretty clothes because you can be waiting forever not to be invited to the ball. You can appreciate them now.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the past was, you can't change it. So for me, I get to reflect on it. I get to celebrate it. I get to learn from it. Some of those pieces are reflective of my past, of my journey. And at the same time, the future, you don't know what's going to happen. All you can do is put down the stepping stones now to create the future you want and worry about the future later, but do what you need to do now to lay the path. And so for me, nature grounds me. I've got a home studio and it is literally like a little cottage because I just love to have flowers blooming, flowers dying and then renewing itself. And it's just that beautiful, soft energy, and color lights me up. And I look at my pieces and they're vibrant because it makes me happy. And I think that's what connection is about. Even though some of the subjects are not happy ones, it's the energy in the piece and the colors.
That's beautiful. A lot of the work that you do, you work with charities as well. What is it about certain charities that you've gifted some of your beautiful art pieces, and the causes behind these charities, I suppose, mean something to you? So what is that connection to charity work and artwork in this creative sphere?
I think art or creativity in general is such a powerful medium and it's really underrated. There is so much power in the ability to create because it's not just about painting and creating something pretty. For me, it's about using your creativity to heal, using your creativity to, in my circumstance, it's my mental health. So it's for my sanity, it's for my peace of mind, and like I said, I get to breathe again and it just balances it out. I can't always donate money to charities, but I know I can donate the gift of my talent and my time. The charity piece for me is really important because I come from a refugee background and I've been in Australia since I was 4. It's a long time now, it's over 4 decades, but I consider myself Aussie. I know I'm lucky to be in a country where if I put the hard work in, I can achieve it. There's nothing really stopping me. Gratitude is a massive part of who I am. I'm in a position now to give back with my time and creativity, so I try to do it. And the charities I choose are half the time the charities that choose me. I think something, I meet someone and they tell me what they're working on and what they're trying to achieve that aligns with what fills my cup. And my art's very feminine, so it is all about celebrating my journey. And you know, someone in their mid-40s, there's a lot of ladies out there who are on the same journey. You live your life in seasons, and then there's different seasons of life. I find that when people turn 40, it's your birthday soon, and you'll soon experience it too. You really celebrate the sense of self, and you start to have so much more confidence in yourself. You start embracing all the things that you weren't so comfortable with in yourself, whether it's the way you look, the way you thought about yourself or your abilities. You just own it. And I think it's almost like women stepping into their power now, because that comes with age. Confidence comes with age, and
grace. And so what a celebration. We're here, you know, getting to showcase you as a feature artist, which is amazing. But we're also celebrating something exciting that you're going to be launching at your event that's coming up. What is that in particular? Here we've got this beautiful model, Ava, that you've inspired your creativity process, but now you're opening it up a little bit more to people that would like something for themselves.
Yes. Ever since I've been showcasing my art, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, would you do that for my wife? Would you do that for me because I want to celebrate my milestone in my business? Or would you do that for a friend because I want to give them something really extraordinary? And I've always said, not yet, because I wasn't ready, because this is very new to me still, and I'm still enjoying it for me, and I'm still exploring it. But now we have this beautiful gallery, and I feel like, you know what, I think the time is now. So I'm ready now. I'm going to launch my private commission, very limited amount of commissions that I'll be taking, purely because I don't want this to turn into a job. I've already got a job. I love my job, but I need this to be something that I can still enjoy. I'd love to do private commissions as collaborations with my clients, so I get to celebrate their journeys with them and create pieces that really speak to them and mean stuff to them. That takes time. This is why I sell prints, because I do not want to create originals, because it does take a lot. Some artists are amazing, they'll do it, they love doing it. I'm not that kind of artist. I'm more of a process artist, and I do hold the artistry, I guess, like quite close to my heart. And it's quite sacred because it is very personal, and to share me with someone else.
Well, I'm excited. Already had a little taste with one of our artists that you did a piece for, beautiful Yanina, who's showcasing him. You did this really beautiful piece for Mother's Day, and that was just the starting point. And you've got another one that you're unraveling and unveiling, which is very exciting. And there are many more. If you want to have your own done, you can connect with Hue, or if you want to purchase one of these beautiful pieces, you can connect with her. And how can people find you, Hue?
So,
besides here, of course.
At Creative Hearts. I have a website called Hue the Artist, so just HUE the artist.com. And all my prints are online. You can order them as just unframed prints, frame prints, canvas, box canvases, or metal prints as well, all different sizes. And the smallest size that I will print is the A2, because I feel
it's a nice size.
Yeah, it is a nice size. I mean, these are A1 frames, but A2 is nice. I think, art prints are meant to be celebrated, and why not?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. And you can find us here also at Creative Hearts, located in Brookwater. And we hope to see you guys soon.